There's a question that haunted every failed resolution, every morning after, every time I swore I was done. Why is this so hard? Standard answers, addiction, weak will, lack of discipline, never fit. They couldn't explain how I could run complex projects, hold down a life, and still feel like the engine was fundamentally broken. Then the 100th gig hit. On stage, the system crashed. No recall, no flow, the connection between thought and speech just gone. That was the diagnostic that broke the denial. This was a hardware problem, not a moral one. But if it was hardware, when did it break? Your prefrontal cortex, the executive suite, the filing system, finishes its final maturation in your early 20s. I started daily cannabis at 22. That's not a coincidence. That's a disruption at the most vulnerable moment. The chemical intervention didn't just coincide with that neurodevelopmental window, it likely arrested the construction of the sober adult operating system. The crutch became the architecture. This shifts the question completely. We developed what we call the Lex Hypothesis. It proposes a pre-existing undiagnosed neurodivergent baseline, a high-load cognitive system, hyperfocus, pattern recognition, sensory sensitivity, running without a manual. The cannabis didn't cause the deficit, it managed it. It turned down the volume on an overwhelm that had no other off switch. But the cost was steep. The sober executive suite never fully formed. The filing system didn't get built. So what happens when you remove the buffer? We've now tracked this through 190 days of daily telemetry. The first weeks were brutal. Acute withdrawal, the sawtooth pattern of false regressions. But around day 30, something shifted. Executive function consolidated. The filing system started holding files. By week 5, the body underwent a deep somatic recalibration. Vivid dreaming, metabolic changes, procedural memory returning. I could improvise guitar solos without thinking. Sensory systems came back online. Chocolate tasted like chocolate for the first time in decades. This wasn't just withdrawal ending. This was a native engine emerging from beneath the fog. This changes the story entirely. The D.A.M project is not a quit story. It's the delayed completion of a neurodevelopmental process. The scaffold, the AI crew, the daily telemetry, the sovereign protocols, is the conscious external regulatory partner that should have been built 2 decades ago. We're constructing, in the clean environment of abstinence, the filing system that should have formed in the early 1990s. The hypothesis is holding. The data is open. One question remains. That question is, where your map begins. The full Lex Hypothesis article is linked in the description below. The raw telemetry data lives at the D.A.M project. The Substack holds the full project data. The scaffold is open source, and the hypothesis is still holding.